Okay, we're live again. So
We are now face up.
we're face up because I was trying to Facebook Live my husband last night because of this all night long. It's so fucking disgusting. And then every time it would beep to go 3, 2, 1, when it would start the live, he would wake up. Like at one point, he looked at me and he goes,
Did you put it live?
No, I did put it live, but it didn't come out as good as I wanted it to, so I just stopped.
I have tape of my fiancé snoring because he always says he doesn't snore.
No, he snores.
So I have to show him. It's like he lays there with his little hands on his chest, and it's like like that. Are we good?
Yeah, you have to hit play.
Okay, we're getting there.
But you're not on the new live feed.
I'm sorry, we're. Oh, that's on the old feed.
X
Oh,
out
Jesus,
one.
Mary, and Joseph.
Oh, wait.
Okay. All right. What else can we talk about while they're doing this? Let's see. I know what I'll talk about while they're doing that. My daughter is moving out of the house, and I want to cry and kill myself, and I can't believe it, and I'm really sad. Okay.
She wants to move out, and
She's
you're
moving
sad?
out, and she's Carrie. She's 22. Of course, she has to move out. Like I don't want her to be like one of these weird people that live in their parents' house for the rest of their life, but I'm just going to miss her. Like, I'm a mother. Like, imagine if your kids aren't with you anymore. Like, I'm a mother, and that's what I am, and that's my identity, and now my kid's leaving, and I'm going to be alone in the house. I just feel I'm so goddamn sad about it.
Okay,
I'm
so
really
you have
sad.
you have 2, but one's already gone?
One's gone, and then the other one's going. And I barely see the one who's gone. I see her just on holidays and once in a while. You know, it's like, it's done. Motherhood, goodbye.
It's over.
It's so sad to me.
Now you can move into Manhattan and get rid of Kevin because he's obviously not going to marry you. and get, you know.
You know he's listening.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, I'm kidding.
He's the one that told us it was sideways. He's the guy paying attention.
Kevin.
Anyway.
Ask Kevin if it's sideways now.
Kevin, is it sideways now?
Let's see.
Okay, we're fine now.
It's fine. Okay. Okay.
But it's hard, right? You think of yourself as a
Just
mother,
gotta turn it.
right?
It's still coming up sideways on my.
Maybe your screen is sideways.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. It's just me.
And then my other daughter, may I mention my other daughter, did the Million Woman March. Okay, I'm very proud of her. She did it in New York City because she had to work that night. So she
Now,
couldn't-
was there a million women there?
There were 1 million, not in New York City and not in, but all together, they did the numbers that it was a little over 1 million. And we're going to talk about this later because it has to do with the politics. That's why Donald Trump was very upset. And he's saying that there's, fraud with, an alternative facts and all. But we'll talk about that later. We're going to do politics a little later, just in case it gets heated and ugly. Then we do it at the end and then we just leave.
It will.
Because we all disagree. You know that.
I disagree.
All right. Well, you want to talk about it now? We'll do it later. Let's first get to know our guest. Let's talk about it.
No, before we start, I want to know how your week went.
That is... I did your show, for God's sake. I did Gyrolicious.
She rocked the house down. They were all going, are you going to go on? Now, I had another show that night, so I had to leave Gyrolicious, go to my show in Amityville, and come back. And they're like, we really wanted to see you. Will you come back and do a spot? Let me tell you something. She was up there. I come back. No one even said, can you go up?
No.
Like, no one cared.
No.
No one gave a shit. They were like, she's amazing.
It was so fun. I had the best time in your room, and I have to say, your food is great, and I had the hummus. Okay, but may I just say, and I already said this to Carrie, when you go to restaurants and you get lettuce, you get a salad, you always get that. There's always that black shit lettuce
wilted.
in the thing, wilted. Everything in Carrie's restaurant is crispy and fresh and wet. And the olives haven't been sitting in like old olive juice. Like when you go to, oh my God.
Because it's very important. Like I try to explain to my staff, they don't blah, blah Espanol, right? They don't blah, blah what I'm trying to say to them. And when I try to explain to them, listen, Marvin, do not cut the lettuce at 9:00 at night.
That's right.
Because we don't need it. There are no more customers, Marvin. I'll come in the next day and there'll be a whole thing of lettuce cut. And I'm like, Marvin, I'm going to take your head and I'm going to shove it in this lettuce and I'm going to explain to you what. And now it's all wilted. So I will dump the whole thing in the garbage in front of them, like angrily.
Yes.
I'm like, you see what I'm doing? You see? I'm throwing this out. This was $10, you mother.
You have to.
Yeah.
You need fresh. And you you get your shitty salad once. I don't want to go back because I love salad. It was so good. I had your fries.
Thank you.
The
Fresh
fries.
cut fries.
Oh my God, those were the best, and not too much salt. I hate when it's too much.
Do you know
perfect.
what? Do you know what they did to me?
What?
They come in and they go, Miss Abuela. They call me Abuela or Miss Carrie. So they go, Abuela.
Isn't Abuela
That's
grandma?
grandmother.
That's not good.
Well, they're all 20.
All right.
So they go, Abuela, the machine no worky. I go, what machine no worky? Because every day they break a new machine, which is like $700. So I'm like, what machine no working? The French fries. So this machine that's on my wall, it's made out of metal. To break this thing, you'd have to drive your truck over it. These jerks somehow broke the handle off.
Oh my God.
The
Terrible.
machine no working. You buy new machine. And I go, oh, no, Jose. Jose, we don't buy no new more machine. You know who the machine is now? Jose, Marvin, Norma. Then you all choppy and you become the machine. So they were so mad because now I'm making them cut potatoes like French fries. And they came out They actually came out better
Sure.
They were
with them cutting them by hand.
It's so
They are
good. They were
actual
so
hand
good.
cut.
Love it. Loved
They
it.
hate my guts though.
Loved
You
it.
break a machine, you buy the machine, or you cut it by hand. So now nothing else is broken so far. And they broke my food processor. I made them chop all the onions up. You break it, you don't get another one.
That's the way to do it. There has to be consequences, Carrie.
My son, he broke his iPhone because he decided to throw it on the floor. And I said, why would you do that? He goes, I don't know.
Oh no.
Well, now you're not getting another one. Now you got to look through a cracked screen.
Yeah.
That's good to hold off. That's
You
good.
have to
It
hold
is
off.
good.
Yeah.
It is good. I like this. This is
Anyway, so she was at my store.
Yeah.
It was so fun. May I just say one other thing? Then we're going to talk to our host,
No.
our guest, our host. Carrie works like an animal. Carrie gets up in the morning. She does all the. I go to her. I get to the place. She told me that she was going to be working a gig somewhere. And I see her with the apron. She's running like a maniac. Run. She had cooked all day. She run as a waitress. Then she's like throws her apron down. She runs across town, does a gig. She comes back half an hour. She's got the apron back on. Like you're a maniac. Like and then you have kids. I don't even understand it. I don't understand it.
I don't know. I don't know where I get the energy. And last night I stayed up till 4 watching this movie where there was. It's a not a bootleg, but I have that box, the Stream.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a Stream Smart, and you can watch all the movies in the theaters. So there's a movie with this Johansson girl.
Scarlett Johansson.
She's drop dead gorgeous.
She's cute.
And she's playing against this guy, and they're on a spaceship with like 5,000 other people, but his pod opens up first.
What movie is this?
And he's supposed to be asleep in the chamber, sleeping for like 120 years, and then
is this Ian McGregor or Ewan McGregor or
he's
Ewan?
gorgeous, whoever he is.
That's not Ian McGregor, whatever the hell his name.
No,
Ewan,
this
Ewan.
guy's good looking.
Okay,
He's got a
that's not
great
him.
body.
No.
So anyway, now his pod opens up.
Yes.
Right? So they're like, welcome, good morning, whatever. How'd you sleep for 120 years? Whatever. So now he realizes that he's the only one awake.
Oh, that's creepy.
So he goes to the thing and he says, how much longer till we get to Alpha, Beta, whatever? And she goes, 90 years. So now he's realizing he's going to be on this thing until he dies without anyone. So he sees her in the pod because it's glass.
And she's hot.
And he's like, I'm going to wake this bitch up because I ain't doing this shit alone. But the whole time you're having like an anxiety attack because you're like thinking, how could you be stranded?
That's just why I cannot.
I don't get it. I don't even get this whole movie.
I can't stand.
Why are they on the pod? Why?
It's sci-fi.
They're going to be dead.
Well, they almost died, and he saved the day. And I would have woke everybody up. I would have been, I'm sorry, you're fucking getting up, and so are you. No, actually, only the good-looking ones. And it would have been all guys. I wouldn't have woke up one girl.
Oh, my God.
All men. I would have woke them all up one at a time.
You know how much work that would have been, if you know what I'm saying?
Probably would have been work.
But we have a lovely guest. Let's find out about our guest.
Let's find out about
Let's
her.
find out about
boy.
Meghan. Meghan is a stand-up comic.
Oh, thank you.
Very funny. I saw you on Gotham Live. You did a
Thank you.
great job.
Thank you.
And you have you have a sports thing. Like, I don't know anything about
Yes.
sports. Carrie, you a sports person?
Oh,
I
God.
know.
She has like you
I'm a
have an
big
actual
sports
thing.
fan. Yeah, I have a little show called Sports Tabata.
What's Tabata?
Well, Tabata is like a form of exercise where it's like 20 seconds of high intensive interval training followed by 10 seconds of rest. That's like Tabata. Tabata training. That's like what
Never
it is.
heard of it.
So I took that and put it in a sports show format. So for like 20 seconds, I'll rant about something, and then 10 seconds, it's a little bit of
And then you calm
downtime
down.
comedy.
She
whatever.
doesn't look like that by sitting around. She's got a great body.
You do have
do
a great
work out a
body.
lot. Oh,
How
that's
often do you
kind.
work out?
Maybe like 5 days a week.
Oh my
depending.
God, that's
That's
amazing.
sick. Well, she has no kids.
No kids. Okay.
She's. Are you dating anyone?
No.
Do you so you don't have a boyfriend? Are you like?
But I think it's one of those things that's always been, I don't know, it's like therapy for me. So
In
like,
high
I'll
school, did
find-
you always work out like
Yeah,
that?
I was on the cross country team, so
Oh,
you know you're
see,
running.
See, I
you're
never
running
did
year
any of that. I
round.
wasn't even a cheerleader.
I
I did
God.
karate. It was-
You did karate?
Yes.
Were you a cheerleader too?
No, I did. I was in the
She's a
marching
jock.
band, and I did the like pom poms for 1 year, and then I just quit. I was not my.
Do you know
What's
that
the
I was
pom-pom?
up for
They
the
were like in the marching band. Like I went to Seaford High School on Long Island, and for a while we had a very good. Sounds so cheesy. A really
I
good
went to
marching band
Plainage.
program. Okay, so our marching band was really good, and they had the color guard, and there were pom pom girls, and like the swing flags, and I used to play the bells like on the sideline because we didn't have any harnesses, so we couldn't actually march. Like we were in the marching band, we had to be on the sideline just like playing the bells.
Did you march and play the bells, or you just stood there and played the bells?
We stood there. We had them set up on the side, and we would
Oh,
sit
she
there.
couldn't strap them on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so
So it was like we were on the side playing the bells. I was terrible. Like my mom was like, "Do this because they go on good trips." So we all played the bells.
Just trying to get rid of you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Dad and I want to be alone.
I
Yeah.
wanted the what's this thing called
The baton.
The baton. Thank you.
Baton.
Okay.
Oh, like
so-
Marsha.
yeah.
Did
The
you
marching.
try to teach Jan?
Yes, I decided, because I needed a lot of attention, that I wanted to be the baton girl with all the baton girls, and they throw it up in the air. So I knew the girl who was the head baton girl, and I said, I really want to learn it. She goes, I will teach you, and you will pass. And I go, but I'm really uncoordinated. She goes, she was so good. She could do it in the butt, and she'd turn around and catch it and under the leg and throw it all up in the air. I'm like, oh my God, I want to be the baton girl. So she practiced with me every day after school. I could not get the goddamn baton. And then I would do
Kind
it
of
up
like
in
your parallel park.
Yeah.
I was terrible. And every single girl who tried out made it, except for me
Oh, no.
and one other girl who did weigh, she was like obese. She weighed 400 pounds. So me and the 400-pound girl did not, we were the only two that didn't make it. And it was always very devastating to me. But anyway, I don't know why I'm sharing that. But
You
Oh
know,
my
I
God.
like the baton thing, but I never got I never understood if they actually flipped it through their fingers or if they just went like this
no,
with their wrist.
she
It's
did
like-
it through she could do it through the fingers. This girl who was the
Because
head
I
of
can
it.
do it like this.
Can you throw and catch?
I could bash somebody's head in with it. That's what I could do. I was not a.
I got a grip. I got a full grip.
So did you go on the class trips?
Well, we went to Hawaii with
Are
the
you
band.
shitting me?
But here's the thing. This is what I realized. Like, I went with the high school marching band, which,
Yeah.
by the way, I used to sneak out of the hotel to go for a run. Like, what a loser. This is like, yes, I was like,
Yeah, but they
okay.
were all like nerds, right?
Nerd
The band?
alert!
Nerd alert. Nerd.
Okay.
Well, in our school, you had
Meghan.
to either be in band, chorus, or art. You had to do one of the three. And band and chorus.
go to Hawaii.
No, art, just in general. You had to take
You
one
had
of those
to
three.
be. It was mandatory.
One
Oh,
of those three.
oh.
So it was like you had to take some kind of like almost as an elective, but you had to do it. So everybody just did band and chorus for the most part, and then you went on these like crazy trips, and we'd have a couple of performances. I only went on 2 of them, but it was like I think overall it was probably terrible because I was in Hawaii with the high school marching band. So like my memory of Hawaii is that Hawaii sucks.
That is so
And it's not good,
hard.
and I've
There
never
are
gone back.
Never hot guys in the marching band. Let's be
No.
honest.
There was some cute
The fat
ones,
kid
but
with the tuba.
the drummers were usually hot. The pit, the other part was we
Oh,
were
yeah,
part of the
that's-
pit.
Oh yeah, the
Oh, okay,
drummer.
the drummer
Usually
would be
banging.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah.
Carrie.
Yeah, right. Because they had all the
Carrie.
And
a lot
their
of hand
muscles,
skills.
it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, they would be more alpha.
Strong.
They would be a more
Yeah.
alpha male.
Which is actually, I found out the OJ verdict because we were on the field
my
with the marching
God.
band, and we were already out. Everyone was tuning in to find out, like even in the school. But we had practiced, so we were all the way like on the middle of the football field. And
When it came out,
yeah, so
They
used to do a
said
thing.
not guilty, and you were like, da,
Yeah.
da, da, da,
we were
da.
out there, and we're doing the thing, and then they did the thing where they go band 10 hut, and everyone had to go like hut. I don't know, it's just a weird marching band thing. So they went to do it, and the drummers went band 10 hut and not guilty, and we were like, what?
Oh my God! I'll never
like,
forget
went
when that
crazy.
happened too. I was just like,
crazy.
what? Anyway, so how's the dating life? How's dating world? How's all that?
I don't have a dating life. I have to make more time for it.
Okay, this is what I
guess.
don't understand.
Stop going to the gym.
You are. But
Jeez, you have right now. Look,
Go ahead.
Take
want-
over here for
please,
a second because I'm going
please.
to smack the shit out of her.
Okay, she's beautiful. She should have a
First
man.
of all,
Yeah.
you're going to look back. How old are you? If you don't mind?
35.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
35. You're in the prime of
Yeah.
the.
Prime of
feel
your
great.
sexual life.
I
yes.
feel great.
Yes, I was going
30s
to say
have been
banging
great.
years. but
Banging years,
let's just say you're
Yeah.
in the prime.
Yeah.
You're going to hit my age, which is 51, and it's going to dry out.
Literally.
I'm not lying.
No. Tell me about it.
Okay, so then you're going to be like, you know what? Maybe I should, but it's be too late
Yeah.
now.
I know.
You
Now-
got to
No.
grab a guy like Adam.
You're right.
Bang him just for banging him. You're single. You
Just
don't
for
need-
fun. You don't have to be in
fun.
love with them. Go.
Who cares if he ever calls again? You don't ever want him to call
I
again.
can't.
You
I
know
see
what I mean?
that thing. I like that's.
You need to be in
can't
love.
deal with any of like that. Not even love.
You want to be, of course,
The
monogamous.
relationship
yes.
that. Yeah. I just now
understand.
it's especially now. I feel like everybody's like on Tinder. Everybody's hooking up all the time. That like even if I just like okay, let me have this wild night. I like the next morning I'm like that was great, and then a day later I'm like oh my god, I probably got an STD. Like even if
Yeah,
it was
no,
safe,
that's-
I'm like oh my god, I'm probably pregnant. Like who am I? I don't know this person.
I know.
Like,
Okay,
I'm an
so
idiot, and
forget
I just
that.
Spiral.
You're
spiral.
absolutely right. The people today dating
Horrible.
are horrible.
Horrible. You know why? I will tell you why. Because instead of you looking at somebody and going, oh, I had this nice moment and it's great. Now it's like, oh, I had that nice moment. Now let me get home and see, oh, who likes me? Left, right, whatever the fucking they swipe.
Yeah.
It's too much.
That's not. That's men.
Yes.
Men want the supermodel. They're always waiting for her to
Swipe,
knock
swipe,
on
swipe.
the door.
Yeah.
So no matter how
Yeah.
great you are,
Yeah.
he's still going. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And you have to really like be at a point where you definitely I think with a guy like wants to be in a relationship because I think there's a lot of
You're not
there's
gonna
so many
find- are
options.
you in
There's
Manhattan?
so many options.
Yeah,
I'm in
Manhattan's
Brooklyn. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not going to find anybody in Brooklyn or Manhattan. You want to find
It's
somebody,
true.
you're going to
Move
go
to
have
the
to
suburbs.
to redneck areas like
Yeah.
where I live. Long,
Long
Island,
Island.
you'll find a guy who wants to get married and have kids. Somebody that works for like the railroad, real
Right.
home guy. That's
no,
the guy
this
you
is,
want.
No,
That-
I especially because the way like this whole career is so up and down, especially now like at 35, I'm like, no, I want somebody with like a stable job, regular benefits,
Health
like I
insurance.
need health insurance. Like I need that security so then my life can be up and down
Yes.
and that can be stable. Like
That's
yes,
what
I'm
I
all
have.
on board with that.
That's what
All on
Carrie
board.
has.
I went for the, obviously,
Obviously.
you have seen my husband. I went for the pension and the plan.
Why not?
Why not?
Why wouldn't you? Especially if we're in a crazy business.
Yeah.
Why do you want to date a fucking musician?
I go to the doctor for no reason. I just go because I can. I have a $20 copay. If I feel like my little toes bothering me, I'm at that doctor with my.
Why not?
Can you please?
Why not? I like your boots today.
Great. They're
Yes.
great.
Thank
I've been
you.
recently thinking about this though. Like this is what I think I'm really looking for. It's probably very specific.
Okay,
I'm
but
looking
be
for
specific.
somebody that like used to be in like the CIA military kind of thing, but then like had some kind of experience where now they don't trust the government. So they're like retired from that, but they have money, but they're like ready to
They're
settle
bad
down.
boys.
But they also could like go out in the woods and like if
Kill
they needed
someone.
to murder someone, they
Yes.
could. That's what I
That's a
just
bad
watched. I just
boy.
watched that
Tough guy.
Benghazi movie the other night, and I'm like, they all retired after Benghazi. I'm like, I'm in. This is who I
That
want.
would be. You
This
know
is who I
why?
want.
Because it's an alpha male. It's a real man.
Yeah.
You want a guy who can beat the shit out of people. You
Yeah.
don't want like some
Not though you.
little pussified
You don't
guy.
want. You don't want him beating the shit out of you though.
No,
right,
no.
right. No.
Other men if they
Yeah.
bother you.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
you do want
And
that.
I think especially as a female comic, it's nice to have that person in your profile picture. You're at a hotel in
Yeah.
the middle of nowhere. It's like, look
Right.
out, this guy could be
Oh,
here.
I
He could
had a
not
guy
be.
like that. I
Nice.
did when I first started my comedy career.
What?
The tattoos. Remember Freddie?
I don't know Freddie. I don't remember Freddie. Which
Oh,
one was
yeah.
Freddie?
He had all tattoos, covered in tattoos from head to toe. He was so mean looking, but he was the nicest guy in the world. I'm still
Really?
actually friends with him. He got married to a great girl,
I
had a
can't believe
kid.
you stay friends
I
with the
stayed friends with all my
boyfriends.
ex-boyfriends.
I tend to do that too.
You
Because
do?
they're not just
Yeah.
one-nighters.
No,
Maddie.
you-
These people were in my
real
life.
relationship,
Yeah,
but still,
they're in your life. Yeah, they're part of your life.
it's kind of
Yeah.
embarrassing though when you see them again. It's like, I don't know. What do you
No,
say
'cause
to
I
them?
still look good.
What are you saying, bitch? No.
No.
But it would
No.
be so hard to. I mean, what do you talk about? Remember when we used to like? I don't
No,
know.
we don't even. I don't.
No.
You know,
You don't
what's
acknowledge
weird?
the past.
I don't acknowledge the past because I don't even remember it.
Well, that's true. That's how I am too.
Oh my
Today,
God.
can I tell what happened to me today? And then I'm
Yeah,
going to ask
yeah.
you this too. Okay, I'm at the post office because I also sell on eBay besides my comedy job because I always need a second job. Okay, so I'm at eBay. I got the box, the thing.
What do you
I'm
mean
in
you're
the-
at eBay?
I
Is
mean,
there
I'm
a-
not at
Yeah.
eBay. I'm not talking right. I'm at the post
I
office.
know because I'm like there used to be eBay stores.
I know
Right.
they're. So I'm holding the thing, and the fucking guy lets the door slam in my face. And he's not even like a young hot guy. He was like an old ugly guy. Like you understand if a young hot guy won't hold the door for you because you figure like, well, he's not thinks he can get anything. But that guy would have been lucky if I had looked his way or done he acknowledged him, smiled, winked, anything. He let the door slam, and I didn't do it today because I was in a rush and I had to get out. But usually, what I do if they don't hold the door for me, I go, "Thank you." I like shame them, humiliate them, and then they always will turn around and go, "Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
thank
but
you."
You know what though?
ahead.
I've realized that the human race has become so self-absorbed and all about me that even if you do that, they don't give a shit. They're like, whatever, bitch. Like they don't care. People are all about themselves. I try to make a right turn, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm trying to get over from the left to the right, and they speed up. And it's like,
I
no.
hate
You're
that.
speeding up
Yes.
with the wrong bitch today. Because number one, I'm in menopause, and I will crash my car. I don't give a shit.
Well,
I'm in a minivan, pal.
You know what you need to do when it's like that? You don't put your blinker on. I know that's illegal. I shouldn't be telling you to do something illegal. But because the minute you put your blinker on,
They speed up.
If you don't put your blinker on and you think you got enough room, dart in.
No,
I
that
do
drives me
dart in,
crazy.
but I
hate
do
when
put my
people
blinker. I always, when I see somebody waiting to go, I slow down.
That's right. You're
and
nice.
I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
And they're looking at you like, you
What?
let me go?
Yeah.
I'm like, no!
Yeah.
When
There's
they
a short
don't
window.
go and you're
Yeah.
letting them go, I hate those fucking
Yes.
people. Worse than the people that cut in front of you because it's like, go,
They're like
go.
they're like a deer in headlights.
That's right.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. Okay. What about, so do they still hold the
Yeah.
door for you, Carrie? You still?
You know what?
Hot girl.
I'm not really.
No, come on.
No,
Let's be honest.
no. I'm not a hot girl. I'm far from that. I have big man hands, which really pisses me off.
Stop with your hands.
I never
Stop.
noticed. Look, when I go like this, I was talking about that before on my Facebook on how my hands in the camera look like catcher's mitts.
No.
They do. They're so big.
Put
and
them up
now
against-
No, mine
now
are,
I'm
no, mine
she's
are,
got little
no,
baby
mine are
hands.
like really
Look,
small.
she's
Like
got
it's,
like little baby
girl.
hands.
No, but it's
She's
like
a
freakishly
girl.
small.
Look
Oh
at
my
that.
Hands
God.
are freakishly small.
Look at
They're so small, right? They're
Look at her
really
baby hands
small.
compared-
It's weird. It's weird. It's not.
But mine are the same size
The
as
guys
yours.
like her.
no,
Because she's got little girl
And then
hands. She's
and
got
she
baby
puts
hands.
them near their thing. He
They're like,
looks
oh
so
my
much
God,
bigger.
I'm
Oh,
used.
that's true. It does.
But I've used two hands for
So
Uh,
look at the difference with this big man catcher's mitt.
Oh my God! It is like an inch.
but my hands. This is
An
like for
inch.
anybody. My hands really are just
That's a
really
teeny
small.
little hand.
It's not
You're
your
the
hand.
size
It's-
of Donald Trump's
No,
hands.
don't try to cover it up. I've accepted it. You've got to learn to you can do plastic surgery to your face,
Yes.
your ass, every part of your body except your hands. Like, look at these. I
These
can
are
crack a
you
lobster.
need these hands.
Like,
Yeah, for the restaurant, you need these hands.
and
You
Jerry
need a working
Seinfeld had an
hand.
episode where
I
he went
remember
out
the
with her
that man
and she
hands.
cracked
Yeah.
the lobster, and I have those hands now, and now they're becoming like gnarled looking.
That's
from
what my
the
toes
arthritis.
are doing. My toes.
The
You-
arthritis.
My toes guys used to like my feet. I had a guy who saw me on the subway and asked me on a date because I was wearing flip flops. He goes, "I love your feet." He was into my feet. I had beautiful feet with the toenail. They were pretty toes that just went. And then all of a sudden, I hit 50, and they start doing this, like
They're
they curl.
gnarling
Yeah,
up.
they curl at the end. Like what the fuck? They're supposed to go like this, and they're going like
Curled.
My pretty feet are gone.
They're trying
Let
to
me
hang
tell you
on.
something. I had a guy that wanted to suck my toes all the time, and I was like, and he wasn't even my boyfriend. He was another comic, and I'm like, no, weirdo, no.
You've never had
No.
your toes sucked?
I can't. It just grossed me out.
It was weird. I did it once and it was weird and I didn't
couldn't.
like it. It freaked me out. It's like, why?
That's a little weirdo.
Yeah. Guys who are into that, they're into that more than any other part of your body. Like that's the thing that they
That's
like.
it. No, but it's a
weird.
fetish.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
you
it
know,
is.
but the hands now, so it's like, and then I have my husband who's got her hands. This is my husband's hand.
Your
And
husband is little hands. He's a big guy though.
He's got long, thin fingers. And no, he's a big guy. He's 250, whatever he is, 250, and he's hairy. And then all of a sudden you look at his hands, he's like, wait a minute. But he's got nice hands. They're his hands are sexy, but I don't know if they're guy. I mean, like he should have my hands and I should have his.
Well, the good thing about having big hands is what you can, like, if you ever had to protect yourself and choke a man, they would fit around his neck.
No.
They would fit around
if
his
I
neck.
punch you in the face, if I go like this and I hit him, he'll go across the room.
You know what? That's really funny because I do feel like you could handle yourself.
Oh, I can.
Did you ever get in a fist fight?
Of course I have.
You
quite a few times.
with men or women?
With everybody.
What are you talking about?
I have no, like, when I get mad and enraged, I can turn around and lay you out.
But who have you punched? In the face? In the face?
I hit my husband in the face once.
No, Carrie.
Oh, my God. Yes,
You can't
I
do
have.
that.
Well, look, it was a reflex. It was a
That-
reflex.
that is not an
because
excuse.
He hit the dog. Well, this is when we were dating, and I just turned around and I went, bam!
Oh, well, he shouldn't have hit the dog.
I've gone through windows. I was crazy. You could ask my Facebook friends.
Oh my God.
What do you mean you've gone through windows? What does that mean?
Okay, I was drinking one night.
You were drinking.
I'm drinking, and we're having a party at my house in L.A.
Okay.
And we're, in LA, the apartments are like this, so everybody could see everybody's apartment, but you're inside the complex, but it's like a U thing. So you could see your neighbor across the street, but you're still on the outside. It's weird.
Okay.
So I'm on the floor. I don't remember what I was doing outside the apartment, crying, whatever, because I was drinking. My friends are trying to pick me up. So this girl comes out of the apartment.
Oh, God.
And she goes, shut her up. Right? So my friend's like, we're so sorry, whatever. And so I go, fuck you, or whatever. I don't remember what I said. And she slapped me with her hand in my head.
Oh, my God.
I flung everybody off of me so fast. And they were like, you didn't want to do that. So this girl ran so fast. She gets in her apartment, shuts the door, and she's standing there like this in her window.
Oh, Carrie, you
So I
didn't.
went,
You did not.
bam!
You punched the glass.
I jumped in. I jumped in. She was like, "Oh my God!" And she goes, "This is a crazy white girl." Like that's how crazy I was. And then my hand was gushing blood.
Oh
so-
my God!
But I didn't feel anything.
You
of
could
The
cut
adrenaline.
your.
The adrenaline.
You could have
the,
cut
yeah,
your
I could
wrists
have
and
done. I could have,
died.
would have, should. I
Yeah.
did. I could.
And did you beat the piss out of this
Well,
woman?
I jumped in, but the guys from above were watching the whole thing go down, and they jumped in. And as I flew into the, like I even cut my stomach because I was on the
my
glass
God.
trying to get in. They grabbed my feet,
Oh my God!
and then one guy grabbed my arm, and I was like, and and then they got me out of there. They put me in the car. The cops came. They were like, "Where is she?" They're like, "Oh, there's no one here." But the best part,
Oh my
part about
no
that, they got rid of me.
Oh my
I don't know if they
God.
took me to the hospital. Maybe I got a couple stitches. I don't remember, but I do remember that every time I walked down that hallway, like the inside of it, and she would come, she would turn around and go the other way because I was unstable.
She knows you're crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I jumped in the. I mean, I broke an entire. I had to pay for the window. I think it was like $200.
But was it worth it?
Yes.
See,
That's like-
that's the thing.
you're my
It is
hero.
worth
That's
it. Like
amazing.
when you are at that point, it's like, no, motherfucker, you're going down. I understand
She
the
hit me
anger.
in the head.
She can't
She
get away
threw
with
the
that.
first punch. And the other day,
You
my
had no
daughter.
choice. You had no choice but to go right through that
I
glass.
did. And my daughter, the other day, yesterday, I get a phone call from the principal, and she says to me, "Can I please tell you your daughter punched a boy on the bus in the stomach?" I'm like, "Yes."
Oh my
What
I
did he
go,
do to her
well,
first?
I said, "What did he do?
That's
What
right.
happened? What's the story?" Apparently, he was filming her, and she didn't want to be filmed, and she punched him.
Okay.
So what do I say to the principal? Now the principal has come seen my stand-up, so she loves me. I go, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have a talk with her. And I did. I said, you can't hit somebody. She goes, but he had the camera in my face, and he wouldn't stop. And I kept telling him, get away, get away. She goes, and then I punched him. I'm like, oh, I want to say great
But see,
job.
I don't think there's
Great
anything that
job.
wrong with punching them if he won't stop. It's like, no, that means no. Stop filming me. And then,
Right. I've said no.
Right.
Nothing's happened. Oh, get away,
and did he
get
stop
away.
filming her? I bet he did.
Oh, he started crying. Yeah.
Well, that's what you get. You
But
want
I have to tell you, she's in kickboxing, she's in karate, and she's in grappling, whatever that means.
grappling?
Oh, so this is an issue then, and you're not allowed to use those techniques outside of the studio.
Well,
Because I was
well,
in
that's
karate,
why
she did
and that was
karate.
an issue.
No, but
'cause-
that's why we want her to go.
But,
so
but,
she
but
can
if she's
kick
like
ass.
physically, it's because technically she has enough skills to like take this guy down easy, and he doesn't have those skills. So you're not supposed to.
Ethically, you're not. Because you took it when you were a kid, or
I
when you
took
were
it all the way to like I was 18. I had like a black belt, and my friends would
You
taught
have a
me.
black belt?
Yeah, but I haven't done it since I was 18.
Yeah, but you still can kick
But
Adam's ass.
I
Let's
still
cut
have,
the shit now.
I still have theories in my mind, like if someone were to approach me, like what I would do. This is all like in my
Really?
head, like if someone grabbed me, like Anyway,
I'm
but
impressed. I'm
I fought somebody off
impressed.
once in the city, but I think
You
I looked like
did?
an easy target, so it was like
I would
I
never.
just got in the guy's face. He got away.
I
but
would
that
never
was it.
ever think of you as someone who has a black belt.
Right, well,
Also,
that's
because you
part-
do have little baby hands.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's part of
how
yeah,
could you?
boom, you
how
can
could you
palm.
hit someone with little baby
You
hands?
don't even need that fist. You need that palm. Boom, right up the nosebleed.
Can I
Done.
just tell you something that you say about that? My father, when I was 7 years old, in the backyard, he goes to my sister's and I, he goes, I'm going to teach you girls how to fight. You know, my father drank a little. He goes, girls, I'm going to teach you how to fight. My mother's in the kitchen. She's looking out the window. My father told me at the age of 7, he says to me, if a man ever tries to hurt you, he goes, you punch him with your fist. He goes, you put your thumb on the outside of the fist. Don't put your thumb on the inside because when you hit, it'll break your thumb. Right. So he's teaching us, and he's got us in the backyard, and he's going, okay, now you got to you go, no, don't hit me. And then when the guy gets in, you go, bam. And he said, and what you want to do is you're going to do an uppercut. He goes, and then he told me the thing about the palm. He goes, up in the nose. And he goes, you can give them brain damage.
Yeah, brain damage. You could
He
kill
goes,
them, yeah.
I'm 7. My father's telling me this. Push it up. He goes, and then when your hand's up there, now you gouge out their eyes. I'm 7.
Yeah.
My mother comes to the door. She goes, Bill, my mother June, what do you remember we went to Vassar? My father's like this Irish crazy person. My mother was very, like her father
You
was a
had
banker.
Colin Quinn as a
Oh
father.
my God. And she's going, Bill, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just teaching them a few things. She goes, girls, get in the house. Because my father was teaching us how to kill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
They
it's
did the
like,
same thing.
but anyway, but that reminded me of that.
Yeah.
That we're on the little
But
by
it
the
came in
swings.
handy, right?
Yeah.
Because you did have somebody you threw something at once. The
What?
hairspray. you threw.
Oh, my ex-husband, yeah. Talking about the hairspray.
So your father's
knows.
teachings
On that.
work.
I need weapons, though. I'm not good with my,
You
I
can
don't
do
know.
this or right to this area.
What do you do here?
Right here,
Any
you hit
kind
him
of
in
like
the
a quick
Adam's
hit.
apple.
When you do a quick hit, you do the palm of your
You
hand?
could
Or
do
you-
just
Or
fingers.
just
right?
throw up
fingers?
on them. If you throw up on someone, they say that they can't handle the smell of vomit.
I've never heard
They
this.
say when you're getting raped,
Yeah, no,
pay
right.
attention.
I've heard this. Yes.
When you're getting raped, instead of screaming fire or whatever the hell you're supposed to scream, because even people don't stop for a fire anymore either. No. So you just put your fingers down your throat, puke all over yourself, on him. He'll smell it and get off you.
Is this true?
Yeah,
What
no,
if he
I've heard
kills
this.
you? Maybe he'll kill you.
He's
'cause
not going to kill you. He's going to throw up himself. He's going to be...
Yeah, that's true. The smell does make
Nobody
the
can
person
handle
throw
the
up.
smell of puke.
Yeah.
That is really
Yeah.
interesting.
No, I've heard that.
I've never
Totally.
heard that. I
Well,
love
now
that
you
story.
learn something new, Penny.
Wow. My younger daughter, who's very sassy, Anna, I always wanted her to take, self-defense because she has a mouth on her. Like she'll go, shut the fuck up. And she'll tell people, and guys, she doesn't care. I go, my biggest fear in life was that she was going to say something to somebody.
And then punch her.
Because her mouth is but I also feel like she could really fight if she had to. Like she's super strong and she's not afraid. Like she's got a crazy hair up her ass. So I think that she could handle herself. But because she has such a big mouth, I've always wanted her to back it up with I go, please,
Something.
take
Taekwondo.
karate, take the, and she goes, I'm good, Mom.
good.
Good,
Good, I
but
got
anyway.
this.
See,
I
but
got
you
this.
are definitely, you could never know. You would never know.
Never.
No,
You're
I'm
like a
just-
Southern belle.
Yeah, you
No,
are.
Come on, I'm from Long Island. Come
But you don't.
on.
You
no, but I'm
seem.
very. It's like,
But you don't have my
not a
annoying
problem.
accent.
But sometimes I probably after this, it's gonna come out more and more today because when I'm around Long Island people, it comes out like stronger and stronger. Like, oh, I'm with my family. It's like all of a sudden it's so intense. People are like, whoa, where'd that come from? I'm like, well, I was hanging out. This is really me, guys. This is real me.
Every time I talk to Carrie on the phone and I'm talking, Kevin goes, you're sounding like Carrie Carabas now because I'm like, oh my God, what's this?
It's great. It's so liberating. It's so liberating.
I
Just
love
get it
a
out
Long
there.
Island accent.
Look, everyone made fun of Fran Drescher, and she's laughing all the way to the bank.
That's right.
It's true.
That's right.
It's true. Janice from Friends, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
They kept bringing her back.
Right.
Oh yeah, I loved her voice. I loved her. You know that did I ever tell that story about Fran Drescher that she was married to a gay guy? Did I ever tell you this?
Oh, it's a great.
Now,
That's a great story.
Look,
Yeah.
since Patty has been married to a gay guy, she has now found every woman that ever has been married to a gay guy.
No, but the reason I
Is
know
this for some sort of validation that what you did?
the only reason I know Fran Drescher was married to a gay guy was because my ex-husband and I were supposed to go on our honeymoon together, and he canceled like twice on me. And then, and every time I would lose gigs. That's back when you would make a lot of money on the weekends back in the 80s or whatever it was. So we're supposed to go on vacation on our honeymoon, and he gets some play, like some stupid fucking play that pays nothing, and he plays a beatnik and he's singing a song in it. Okay, so and it's not even in a real theater; it's like off of Broadway. Okay, so I came to see one of his rehearsals. He said, "Oh, you got to see the rehearsal. Fran Drescher's husband is in the play with me, and he sings too."
Oh,
and
they
I'm
were
like,
dating.
no, I don't know if they were. But I go to the rehearsal. There is Fran Drescher's husband with a nose job of nose jobs. You know, like bad nose jobs where it's scooped out and it's like
Michael Jackson.
It's got.
nose,
He
right.
had a nose like no man ever has, and he's all bulked up like workout.
Ugh.
He's wearing one of those shirts where his nipples show out. Like it's not even just a regular wife beater shirt. It's like where the nipples stick out,
God,
and he's
gross.
wearing teal blue bicycle pants. Tight, so you can see all the like kibbles and bits and every little bump. And I said to Eric after the thing, I go, "Oh my God!" And he's like singing, And I go to Eric because I go, "Oh my God, do you think Fran Drescher knows her husband is gay?" And meanwhile, I'm thinking
with the
that Fran Drescher came to the rehearsal and said to her husband, "Do you think that poor girl knows that her husband is gay?"
That's funny.
But we were both, and both had the gay husbands singing in musicals. But anyway, that just reminded me of that. Okay.
No, it was
have
like
you
they
ever
had
dated
a
a gay guy?
dated. Actually, no, not dated, but I think I've forced some people to come out of the closet. Like
In what way? Like,
like-
oh, because you say I'm interested?
there was a situation years ago with somebody, and like his whole thing was like, "Oh, Meghan, it's just like hanging out with one of the guys. She's into sports, this and that." And it was like, "Oh, I guess I really was," because then he came out of the closet, and he's I think been with his boyfriend ever since.
And you thought this might be something?
Oh yeah, we were like good friends, and then we'd like sort of like we never slept together, but we'd hook up sometimes. And then I was like, he's like, I really need to. We were like drinking one night. He's like, I really need to like talk to you. Like, let's stay out. Let's stay out. And I thought the conversation was gonna be,
I'm in love with you.
Yes.
Will you marry me?
Yes!
I need to make love to you. You're the
Totally.
woman of my dreams.
Totally. I thought the conversation was exactly going to be like, let's stop with this.
Oh
Like,
my-
we're friends. Like, you're the one for me. And instead, he's like, I have to tell you, I've been living with Carlos for the past year, and
Oh
we're
my
in love. And I'm like,
God.
what? Like,
What?
totally.
Oh, why wouldn't he have
off
told you
guard.
before that?
And it was this whole, yeah.
Here's the thing
yeah.
that's so sad about this. She is like a catch for a guy. Gorgeous.
Total.
Oh.
She works out. She's in good shape.
She's funny. She has a
Funny?
sense of humor. She can protect you.
She can be
Possibly.
right. If you start a fight, you can't finish. She will finish the fight for you, and
She'll
she watches fucking sports. What
Yeah.
woman wants to watch horrible? I mean, I shouldn't say,
Great.
But
I
you're
mean,
not gay.
I'm not gay.
She's
Okay,
not gay.
good.
She's straight.
Because of the sports thing could throw me off.
There are certain women that really love sports, but why aren't men?
What sports, though? Wait,
Okay.
tennis is different than
I do love
football.
tennis.
Do you watch football?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
She watches it
God.
all.
I don't know
Such a turn
anything
on.
about
Yeah.
it.
I don't
Well,
even
some of
understand
the
it.
quarterbacks, but I know it's just great. I don't know. It's a fun distraction.
Baseball?
Baseball's my favorite.
Boring.
Baseball, yeah. Yeah.
What about golf?
Golf, not really, no.
Ugh,
but I've
golf.
started to appreciate it a
Thank
little bit,
God.
but I don't really know.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing
Yeah.
about baseball? Okay, I kind of like watching Yankee baseball. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But when you go to a live game, it's really, and you're sitting in the thing and a bunch of other people and you're all hanging out and you're eating and you're bullshitting. It's like this fun thing that's going on while you're bullshit. And all of a sudden I thought, now I get why people go to games. Like it's, especially like if you went with your father or you did all that.
Yeah.
Like I kind of get it.
It's about the experience.
But after the third inning, you're like, how much longer is this going to go on?
Well, that's true.
You hope all day. It's great.
Do you have brothers? And is that why
No, we don't have any brothers. It was just me and my sister. That's why we think like I don't know. My
Is
dad
she
sort of
like-
probably raised us like boys. And,
Right,
you
right.
know.
The father wanted the boys
Yeah,
and got
yeah,
stuck with the girls
yeah.
and said,
And
You know, and we
I'm
brought
gonna
this
make
up
them
to him,
boys.
and he's like, "I never gave a damn about not having boys." We're like, "Easy, we know." But he does wonder because, like, my sister's in a serious relationship right now, but he definitely just wants grandkids. Like, he just wants to get
Boys.
married.
He
and
wants
have kids.
grandchildren,
He just
boys.
wants these little babies that just will listen to him. He doesn't want these like outspoken women daughters. And we're like, this is your fault. Like, you raised us to be this way.
That's right.
You did this.
well, had
should've,
you had
like,
a brother, he wouldn't have spent $60 on your seat for the game.
That's
Probably.
true. He would have taken the guy.
Probably.
But I feel like you just got to find the right guy. Young guys,
Yeah.
they don't want to settle down. You're looking.
Oh,
You're
no, I
not
don't wanna-
looking for
no.
fun, crazy dating.
But
You're
I
looking
have 15, or I have 2,000 followers, friends,
Okay.
on Facebook.
Okay, look at her, gorgeous.
Although I think on the Facebook Live I do look a little pregnant in this.
No,
app, but I
she's
looked
got
at
a
it.
killer body.
No.
Killer. I'm looking at it from the side. But I'm just there should be somebody. But I didn't find my guy till I was 45. So sometimes
I
it
was
takes
40.
a while.
Yeah, I
So
think I just
sometimes
have
it
to-
takes a while.
I have to put more of the effort in. I know some of it's definitely on me.
But you also have to remember, as you creep to 40, the expectation
Creep
of
to 40.
as you creep up to 40,
Yes.
the creep part of it actually really starts to come out. And you end up settling for something that you wouldn't have normally settled in your 30s.
Okay. Good to know. This is good to know.
No, but you know what happens? You know what happened to me when I met when I met Kevin. Okay, is that I remember I had dated an alcoholic. I had dated a guy on drugs. I dated a guy who had been in jail. I dated every like crazy person that was wrong for me in the world. And I remember my friend had to talk with me. She said, you have to stop this. She goes, you need a mensch. It was like, in a movie where the person has the epiphany and then, and they realize what they have to do and then it gets to the end of the movie. It was like, yes, I have to stop wasting my time with these guys who are alcoholics and drug addicts and aren't interested in, that I'm not serious about. And I just said, okay, and I'm not even religious, but I said, God, I want a guy who's nice and kind and is good to my children and is good in the sack. And those were the things, and I would say it every day before I went to bed.
God gave it to you, non-religious bitch.
That's true. God did give it to me. I asked and I
And you
received.
received.
I did. And you know what? Another thing that's funny about that with prayers, can I just say something, even though I'm not religious?
I do prayers.
You believe
and
in
they
prayers.
No, they all come true. All of them when I pray.
I'll tell you.
do.
I'll tell you another prayer I had. I thought, and I'm not religious, but I still pray. I pray. I mean, it's not that I'm not religious. It's that I don't know what I am. It's like I like the idea of God, but we'll see. Like when I die, we'll see what happens.
But how could you say that when you exist right now? Something created you.
I agree.
Something had to make this all happen.
I agree with all that, but God, like, the Father, and he's got a beard, like all that. I don't know.
Well, you don't know what he looks like. Nobody
I
knows. That's just what man.
Do I
created.
think something created something? Yes, but what created the something? I don't know. But I did when I wanted to go into radio. I remember thinking, I want to go into radio, and I would say it every night before I went to sleep. God, I want to get into radio. I got a fucking radio job. Of course, I hated the radio job. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But when you focus,
Right.
Yes.
No, if you
Yes.
want, look, I was dating till I was 40. And then I did exactly what she said. I went for what I wanted.
Right.
yes,
Right.
And it happened.
she's got a great guy.
But
You have a
when-
great
I
guy.
do have a great guy, and I am very much in love with him. I do
Yes.
want to say that. I hope he's not watching, because then he'll have the upper hand and all that.
right. You never want him to have the upper hand.
No.
Too much power.
I want him to know. I mean, I don't want him to know that I love him, but I do love him very much because he's such a supportive, wonderful individual, and he really is. He's just a good guy. But I focused on that, and you have to focus on what you really want because we have such ADD. We focus on this. We focus on this. So nothing really gets done because there's so many different. Right.
Yeah.
So if you really want it, you'll get it. Now, I really focused on wanting to have a child. And I was, 40. So it wasn't like I was, my friends are doing in vitro, all of them. Right. But I wrote every day on a pad because I write my prayers.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Because I feel like it gets to the point and it's on paper and it's validated.
And you can see it. Okay, that's interesting.
And I write it down and it happened. Wow. I had a lot of freaky writing it down on paper and it answered. Well, like real.
What do you mean it answered?
Okay, I hadn't seen an ex-boyfriend. I hadn't seen an ex-boyfriend for, let's say, 7 months. And I was so miserable because I couldn't get past this guy. And I wrote in the book,
I wonder which guy this
Dear
is.
God, I'm not going to say it.
It gives him the upper hand.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want him to know.
I said, Dear God, I will. Dear God, please let me see him just one more time. And I promise you, I won't care anymore about this guy. Please, God, let me have closure.
Interesting.
Okay. With that said, went to bed. It was like 4 or 5 in the morning. My friend Debbie Perlman and Lynn Koplitz at the time called me in the morning. Said, meet us for breakfast at the French roast. All right. Now it's like 100 degrees below zero. I've got a hat on. I looked slightly retarded. Bundled up. I've got all the stuff you wear every time you come here. Big ski gloves on. They're probably mittens.
Cold. I get
they
cold.
were probably mittens.
Oh my God.
So I normally go straight across 6th Ave always to get to French Roast, and then I make a left. Today, for some stupid reason, I decided to go straight up on the same street. Instead of going across 6th, I went up 6th. And I'm walking with my head down and I'm freezing in this slushy, nasty, dirty snow, smelling like urine. And I'm walking as fast as I can to get to the French roast.
Wait, the snow is smelling like urine.
Yes, not me smelling. Not me smelling like urine.
Just checking.
So it probably could have been me. No, so now, I have my head down and all of a sudden I'm waiting and I look up and like this. He's right there. And I got this intense feeling like,
that's weird.
7 months of not seeing this guy. And then I prayed the night before and I said, please let me just see him once. I hadn't heard from him. And all of a sudden he's right there. You telling me God didn't answer that? Or what is that?
That is very weird.
And I started crying.
Okay.
You cried when you saw him?
Because it wasn't
It's
about
like
him.
overwhelming.
Because
it
was
was
the God
I
thing.
felt this connection now
my
with
goodness.
God.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, and then I started hysterically laughing. And he's like,
what's going on?
He's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I go, I'm so great that you can't even imagine. I don't give a shit about you anymore because God showed me. It was like an epiphany.
That is a beautiful religious story. I love it. I love
Did
it.
he laugh? Did he laugh or he was like, what?
He was like, great seeing you. Maybe we'll get some coffee sometime.
Never.
I'm like,
Never.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Because I got God on my side.
See ya. See ya.
That to me is not coincidence.
That's amazing.
Are you
That's
religious?
great.
You have to believe.
I am. I mean, I grew up Catholic, and I feel like I identify very much with Catholic. But I don't know. Over the years, I've gone to church and then just not felt the connection. Like I feel like I have my own same thing. Yeah, I'll pray, and I believe in
But
everything.
let's be
in the
honest,
spirit of
church
life.
is really boring.
A lot of times
Come
I
on.
go to church, and a part of me, like my mom always says, it's just
boring.
about giving back. It's giving your time back, go back. But I don't know. I don't know if I just haven't found one that I connect with
what
in
it
any
is?
way.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The religions, I think, are a little off, but the connection with the spiritual,
That
with
I feel,
your whole,
yes,
So then you
absolutely.
know you don't need to go there.
The
That's
thing
how I
that's
feel.
good
That's how I
about
feel.
religion, it's like community, you're doing good things. But like when I was in college, I used to go to this one
But can
church.
I just
Yeah,
stop
go-
you for
please.
1 second?
Then remind me
I
about
get
college.
it, what you're saying, but when you find out that your priest, now Greeks are allowed to get married and then join the priesthood, but you can't join the priesthood and then get married.
Why?
Okay.
That's weird.
Because once you put the cloth on, you're a man of God. Had you been, if you were my wife before you were put the cloth on, then you could remain my wife, and you become part of the whole.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah,
like that.
that's why they don't molest,
Yeah.
altar boys like the Catholics.
It's terrible,
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, that was really like my breaking away from. I was just like, this is insane.
You know what
This
it is? You
insane.
think like these people, when you're younger, you're like, oh, these people are like they're next to God. God talks through them. They're next to God. Then you find out they're not only just people, they're bad people. Some of them.
Until they find out that he's been sexting on the internet with 17-year-old girls, and you're like, not only is he a adulterer. Okay? Not only is he a pedophile, okay? But he's also wearing the cloth. You son of a bitch.
I agree.
Because those jobs pay a lot of money.
What, priests?
No.
Oh,
No,
yes. The
no.
Greek priest makes
Oh, Greek,
140,
maybe.
Really?
120 to 140,000 a year.
Because regular Catholic priests,
No,
they have to
it's
take the
like-
vow of
yeah, it's
poverty.
like
They take the
nothing.
vow of poverty. They're not allowed
well,
to
not
have
in the Greek.
things.
No, they're good paying job. I just said 120, but it's up there. I know it's
Really?
up there.
Wow. I'm
So
surprised.
my point is, don't, I don't know what my point is.
Don't worry about the church. Just have your own spiritual.
Just have your own
connection.
thing,
Okay,
because
Channel
here's
it,
the thing. When
focus
I was
on
in
what you
college,
want.
I always found church really boring. Because you know how they're not good performers. Like, the priest goes up there and saying, and now the Dominus, and I used to go to the Latin Mass, Dominus Nabiscus, blah, 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 because I'm really fucking old. And then when they started talking in English, it went from Dominus Nabiscus to, and now the Lord says the pain here. And it's like, fucking talk to make me want to listen. So I'm sitting in the back. My sister and I are like laughing. The nuns like kick us out of the church. They make us stand outside and punish us for laughing. We're just like trying to have fun. And we couldn't stop laughing. And the nun literally grabs you by the ear and kicks you out. And my mother's like, oh, well, that's what you're supposed to do. The nuns are allowed to
hit you.
Manhandle your children. Yeah. And she goes, stand against this wall. And my younger sister, I say, well, we still can't stop laughing. She goes, stop laughing. And the nun is yelling at us. But like, why is that? Why do kids have to sit through? So anyway, when I was in college, though, I did go to this mass. The only mass I ever went to where I was like, oh my God, this is actually interesting. He was a recovering alcoholic. He was the coolest guy. He had helped lepers. What do you do with lepers? I don't know. He went to leper colonies.
Well, what does that mean? Help them? How can you help them?
I don't know. He went and he preached to them, and he held them. It
like
was
Mother Teresa.
He was
I
a
didn't
Mother
know that was,
Teresa
like, still a thing,
to the
leprosy.
lepers.
Now, what is leprosy exactly? An infection?
It's like your skin falls off in your
But
nose.
is it an infection? Can't we get antibiotics to these people?
I don't know if you can now, but this was when I went to church with him. This was when I was 20. This is fucking 40 years ago. So I don't know if that, but he was the most interesting guy. All his stories were interesting. And every time I left, I felt better. I was like, oh my God, I feel elevated. I feel like life is good. And it wasn't like, burn in hell, you're bad. I remember when I was a kid, I remember the priest saying, when I was a child, he goes, now a lot of you are going to meet Jewish kids in school. I remember him telling this. He goes, now they may ask you to go to temple with them. And they may start telling you about their religion. He goes, now you can be friends with a Jewish child. I like that he's giving us permission. Even as a little child, I knew what he was saying was wrong. He goes, but if they ask you to go to temple, you do not go. And if they start talking about their religion, you say you're not interested. And I remember thinking, that's a fucked up thing to tell a kid. But anyway, so I have mixed feelings about, the church I grew up in, quite frankly.
We get it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
But it used to, I think, also be like I will like have discussions with my family and stuff that it used to be like Catholic, Protestant, Jewish. It was like a full on. It was like a big deal. Like you didn't interfaith marry.
Your family told you this.
They'll still get in discussion. You hear like my dad, and my uncle being like, "Well, those Protestant girls, they were always hot and they put out, but we couldn't get with them." And you're like,
really?
What? Who talks like that? Like
that's hilarious.
You're like, what are you saying? Like,
now,
no one cares.
Now, if you were to marry like a Jewish guy, would you be in trouble with your family?
I feel like at this point they'd accept anything, but
right. No, that's what happens.
Yeah,
that's what happens. As long as he's potty trained.
But I think it would be a slight issue. Like my dad will even, I'll be frustrated with everything with stand up, and I'll just be like, I don't know. This happened a couple months ago. I was like at their house, and I'm like, I just think I'm just ready to like find a guy and have him just take care of me, and I'm done with all this stuff. Right. And my dad's reaction right away was, finally. so excited.
Put this comedy thing
Finally.
aside.
Yeah. And then he follows it up by going, we just got to find you a nice Irish doctor. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh my God.
What? I'm like, well, good luck with that. I'm back
A
to
vag
struggling. Like,
specialist.
but couldn't even be a nice Jewish doctor. Just, oh no, Irish. He's got to be an
Irish Catholic
doctor.
guy.
You're like, what?
Are you Irish?
You know what?
Is that
Though,
what you are?
no matter
Yeah.
how much you get married or whatever you want to do
Yeah.
and settle out of this life that we've
Yeah.
chosen,
Yeah.
or that was chosen for us.
In a way, yes.
You're always going to be this person in here with us
Yeah.
or on a stage. So you got to get a guy that's going to be able to accept that.
Right. That's what I think is also very difficult. I think especially now with like, I don't know. There's just like a weird, I think, vibe going on where guys find out you do stand up and immediately they're like,
That's
and maybe
true.
they look up your stand up and they're like, am I going to be in this?
That's right.
And you're like, well, if you're funny enough, yeah, you'll be in it.
Look
Like,
at-
if you don't make it, it's probably on you.
It's
like,
Carrie's.
Right.
Look at Carrie's
fun.
husband. Not intimidated at all. My fiance, I was so afraid to let him see me the first time, and he's sitting there, and I'm going, "Oh my God, I'm talking about this, that, and the other thing," and I'm going, "How can he's gonna break up with me? It's gonna be terrible." And he had come. It was the first time he came with me on a weekend where we went away, and I didn't have my kids and everything. And he's sitting there, and I was so terrified. I go up to him afterwards. I go, "What do you think?" He goes, "That was hysterical." And I was like, "I'm marrying this man. You need a guy who is not afraid of you."
But I didn't tell my husband I was a stand-up. This is what I did because then right away they want you to tell.
They try telling you jokes.
Right.
Either that or they
Right.
get turned off or whatever. So I
Yeah.
dated him for about 2 months, and he kept saying, "What do you do for a living?" I'm like, "Well, it's a lot more fun than what you do. Trust me." So he thought he might have thought I was a stripper, dancer.
right,
he
right.
he didn't know. 'Cause
Really, I can't believe he wouldn't. He didn't
I
care.
said, put it this way: I'm in the some entertainment
You
industry.
probably did.
So
So, like, wow.
I would always say that, and they would think automatically assume stripper. Maybe it's because of the way I was acting and the whatever, and the clothes
You're
I
a
wore.
hottie.
the
They're like,
midriffs
all right.
you would wear.
Right.
So one night
midriffs.
I had a show at Dangerfields, and we ate dinner across the street at that place. I don't remember the name of it now.
Oh, that Italian place.
Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
we have dinner there,
good.
and I go to him. Now I had a 9:20 spot, so I go to him. We got to go. I got to run across the street real quick and pick something up. So he thought I was a bartender.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
So we go across the street. I sit him, in that dingy, disgusting, dark room, and I sit him there. And I go, I'll be right back. And everyone's like, hey, Carrie, hey, Carrie, hey, Carrie. I sign. I get my big $25.
That's so embarrassing.
So wait, he doesn't know, right? So he's sitting down. Nancy Redmond's on stage, and they're coming to the stage, Carrie Carabas. So he still doesn't get it. He's clapping.
Oh my God.
And he goes, and all of a sudden he goes, I see you on stage. And I'm like, she's a comedian? And of course, I'm like doing everything I could to kill that room, to make it like, holy shit, this girl's hilarious.
Right.
And he was like, I hit the big time.
Oh.
Little did he know.
See, people think the comics make a lot of money.
Oh.
So sad.
It is sad.
And then he goes, and like after a couple months, after we were married or whatever, he's realizing that I'm only making $25 a set.
That's so
Yeah.
sad.
Terrible.
And they said, wait, you're going into the city for what?
$25.
I bet. Oh my God. You're not
Dollars.
getting paid for this? Wait, what?
I know.
They don't get
understand.
it.
Now it's not even. It's barely 25 now. Most places it's guest spots. Guest
Oh,
spots.
guest spots.
Right.
You're like, are you kidding me? Like,
It's terrible.
What made you want to do the stand
Terrible.
up though? Why'd you start?
The pom-poms didn't work out.
It didn't work out. I went back to the bells and thought, this is my
I love that you did the
the
bells.
bells,
That is
marimba, glockenspiel chimes.
glockenspiel.
Yes, it was a whole thing. Terrible. I would hit any note. I wasn't playing correctly.
Yeah.
I think it was just we had like the drama club in high school, and we had to be able to sing, and I couldn't sing, but I was like, I want to do something like this. I was like, yeah, I want to have a sitcom. And then I was in college, and I'm like, somebody was selling tickets for New York Comedy Club, like on the street, and I just asked the guy, I was like, do you guys do classes? And I was like, yeah, and I was like, all right, well,
Who was your teacher?
Chris Murphy. Is my teacher.
Chris, can I just
Eddie
tell you?
Murphy's brother?
No, Chris Murphy with the long red hair, the tall,
Wait,
skinny
isn't
guy.
there?
Yeah.
Who's?
That's
Charlie
Charlie
Murphy.
Murphy.
Oh,
Charlie
Charlie.
You know Chris Murphy.
Yeah.
He's got first of all, I love Chris Murphy. I just used him. I wrote with him one day.
I don't know
used him
him.
as a writer one. I think he is he's the nicest guy. He's like, hey, and he kind of stutters. He's like, and he's got long now
red
it's
hair.
kind of, long
I
red
don't
hair.
know him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he is such
weird.
a character. He is such a fucking character.
Yeah.
But he would be a great teacher.
He was my teacher, yeah. And then he's still even like, I think I might be the only person that like took classes that he still sees. So
They're
he's always
still
like,
doing
so
it.
he's always like, Meghan Hanley, she was my student. She was my student. And he'll once in a while be like, can I ask you, how old are you? And I'm like, because when I took this class, I was like 19. You know?
You were?
So we've like, it's just like this whole like you've been doing it all these years. But he's like, how old are you now? I'm like 35. He's like, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. He's like, I have to say, I taught her years ago, and I'm still.
Gabe Abelson was
still
my
in it.
teacher.
He was. You know who was mine? What's his name? Oh God, why am I going blank on his name? Hold on.
Because we went
Joy
through
Behar was one of my teachers.
Oh my
Joy
God.
Behar, but the one before that was Steve Schaefer. Remember Steve Schaefer? Oh, glaucoma. He would. I don't know why I always remember that joke. He would talk about
Stephen Schaefer.
Steve Schaefer, black hair. He would do that bit where he talks about having bad
I know who
eyesight,
he
and in a
is.
musical, and he'd go, "Oh, glaucoma, ba ba ba," and I always thought that was so funny. I always remember that bit. But anyway, I took from him, and then I took from Joy Behar, and then I think that was it. It was
Yeah,
fun.
and then you just go, I just got to keep getting on stage.
Did you take a class or no?
I did at
Oh.
Stand Up New
Oh,
York.
from-
no,
what's his
at
name?
New York, the comic strip.
Oh, okay, from Gabe
Yes,
Abelson.
Yes,
He's a
yes.
good teacher. He's a
He
great
was
writer.
A good teacher.
Yes,
Yeah, he was
yes.
on David Letterman for years, or is he?
He was the head writer
he
for
was
a
the
while.
head writer
yeah.
for them.
And then Bill Sheft. Yes, absolutely.
That's great.
All
right,
do we
anything
want
else
to
you
talk
wanna
about?
talk about?
You want to talk about politics, or you want to talk about? Okay, let's not.
Yeah, no, I do want to talk about it. Here's what
At
I
the
want to
end.
say.
At the end.
Shut the fuck up, everybody on Facebook.
Oh God.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't know if I agree with you. Look,
What
I
is
don't
it
know.
doing?
You know what?
What
Here's
is
the
it
thing.
doing but pissing everybody off
Here's
about what you think?
I have a
don't
very
care
hard
what
time going
anybody
on
thinks.
Facebook because it's so mean. I just want.
Yeah.
I just saw. Oh my God! I was just. Oh, Rich Walker, who I love. I don't know what he said. Something, and then somebody said something mean back, and then but I feel like, and Rich Walker's like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, but Rich Walker loves to shit stir.
What's a shit stir?
Stir the
Loves
shit.
to stir the shit.
Get it started. Stir that
But I
pot.
think it's. Oh, you know what happens? People read something in the news, and they're being, and they put something up on there. The problem is because it's not a conversation.
Right.
If people go, who is he to say that? And now I'm going to say that. You know what happened to Kevin? This is kind of funny. Kevin is friends with this guy, his friend Joti. And he put, his friend said, we were all, it was that night of the storm. And he goes, who lost power? And Kevin's friend is Republican. All his friends are Republican. And Kevin wrote, just Trump, as a goof. He lost power. And this woman wrote to him, you're an asshole. But he goes, I'm just saying, I didn't even say just Trump. I mean, not Trump. What did I say? Oh, I fucked up the joke. Just Obama. She goes, who lost power? His friend said, because he wanted to know who had lost power. I'm really fucking up this story bad. Okay. If anyone knows how to ruin a story, it's me. So on the Facebook post was who lost power, because he wanted to know who lost power in the snowstorm. And my fiance wrote, just Obama, just as a stupid tag to a thing. And then the woman said,
'cause people-
you're an asshole, like he's against Obama. And he goes, I voted for Obama. And then, but like she assumes he's like putting a dig in.
Right.
Like, but that wasn't what he was saying.
Because when you text, I text a lot, and I'm very annoying to begin with, but my texts come out
Stop
wrong.
it.
No, my texts come out wrong. They come out mean, and they're really not mean. But when you
You
can
can't get
never
the tone.
they
Yeah.
can
can
come out
never get the
aggressive.
tone,
You
right?
don't
get
You
the
can never
tone.
get the
I
tone.
agree.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I just
Okay.
want to say a lot
Okay.
of people are talking.
Okay, let's see
People
what
are
they're
talking.
saying. What are they saying? Let's
Okay,
answer them.
Dina Blizzard. Hi, Dina
Hi,
Blizzard.
Dina Blizzard. Mom, what's her show called? Mommy? Oh, God. Have her text us the name of her show.
Dina, what's the name of your show? I mean, we
We'll
did it.
plug
My
it.
daughter was in one. She almost had a late night talk show called the Dina Blizzard Show. She's a very funny female. And my daughter played her kid, one of her kids. It was
Really?
Yeah. There's a guy wrote a
Your daughter is
just
so
to
funny.
shut the fuck up and go to sleep, or shut up and go the fuck to sleep. And it's a real book. It's called Shut Up and Go the Fuck to Sleep. And she interviewed the author and my daughter, and she was reading the book. Now go the fuck to sleep. But we would bleep it, and they would say fudge. She would say fudge while the kids
that's
were there,
funny.
but
Okay.
it would come in as fuck.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
She was very funny. And so now she's on, and she says, hello, ladies. And we say hello
Hello,
back.
Dina
Hello.
Blizzard. Who else?
We have Brendan Irizarry, and he says, "You're done talking about religion. Can you girls get into the politics?"
boy.
We are.
We are. We're going to talk about politics now. See, people want to hear about politics. Maybe.
Tom and Genio writes, "Thank you. You're welcome, Patty Rossborough."
What am I welcome
Because
for?
he gave us.
I called up Tom and Genio. I'm like, we need to get. Did have a cancellation. I'm not saying you wouldn't have been first on our list because we love you
okay,
and we will have you again. But it was like we got a cancellation. It's sort of semi last minute, and we're like, okay, we need someone who will fucking come to Queens at 4:00, and be talkative and funny and whatever. And he said you, and this is great.
I was supposed to be on this Ladies Let Loose show tonight out on Long Island, and it got
Where?
canceled on
Jody
Monday
Weiner?
at Domenico.
Jody Weiner has that show.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And they canceled on Monday, even though they had 34 reservations and more people were making them. But I'm like, it's like just the frustrating. You're like, it's the end of the month. It's
I
Thursday.
just
This
feel
has been on my
like
calendar.
People
for
there's a
months.
lot of people
People
who-
are not going out anymore. They're not spending because they're afraid of what's this wall. How much the wall's going to cost
Oh, wait,
us.
before we go into the wall, though, I
Yeah.
almost disagree with her canceling because I will tell you why. Last night, I did a show up in Albany.
Actually, the show's not canceled. They said that.
Thanks. You guys wanted me here. You wanted me here. You're like,
No, we
get
had
her up.
250 people at a show I did last night.
Yeah.
All women in the
Yeah.
audience, women show. It was a
Yeah.
girl show. 250 people on a
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
Yeah.
That's like,
Was that the Albany Funny Bone? That
Yes.
trips are funny. I've heard that.
I don't work there, but I
Yeah.
can't drive all the way to Albany.
I know that's the only problem. It is far. It
It's
took
far.
me 2 hours each way. Okay, let's
Oh,
talk
wow.
about.
Okay.
Well, first of all, can I talk about my daughter? First, I want to say my daughter Molly Kornfeld, who is a comic, and by the way, may I plug her podcast, Babes in Boyland. Babes in Boyland.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, isn't that good? And it's about.
Why couldn't we come up with a good
You
name
know what?
like
You know what
that?
her thing is? It's Babes in Boyland, and then the byline is two hot babes trying to make it in a man's world. Isn't that a great?
That's great. And we came up with what? Chick Chat?
Chick chat where it's not the View. That was ours.
Well, I
I like
wanted.
that. It's not the
yeah.
Hi.
Okay.
What I wanted was a little too vulgar.
But anyway, she did the march, and she was like, "Do you want to march with me?" And I said, "I can't because I sell
Because you're arthritis.
eBay, and during the day I had an auction, and at night I was working for Carrie Carabas. But I did feel bad I didn't march because I felt like, but we need money on the weekends, so it's not like that. So she went to New York, and she said there were so many people in the streets where the march was. You thought you would be marching. She goes, we were basically standing because there were too many people, and you couldn't even move. And she said she was there for 4 hours, and she said it was really fun. I put this picture on Facebook that I loved because she's like looking up at she was with a girl who was Mexican and a guy who was gay. And so one was holding a Mexican flag, one was holding the gay flag. And, I just felt like I was very proud of her. And she stayed for 4 hours, and then she had to pee because there's no place to pee when you go on a march, which would be horrible for me because I pee.
You have to wear a diaper for those things.
You know what? I was
People
thinking
do
that I would literally
people do
wear
that.
poise or whatever those things are.
Gross.
And pee. But anyway, she did that.
Walking around in a wet diaper.
And here's what I have to say. Okay, here's the political part. Yeah. So there were over 1 million women overall, not just in Washington. But in Washington, okay, so here was the whole thing with the alternative facts and Trump and the whole thing. He said, the reporters reported about 250,000 came to the inaugural speech that he had. And it was like, they did the aerial photographs. They showed Obama's. They showed his. He had a lot of white spaces.
When was that on?
When was what on?
The inaugural.
That was last
Friday.
week. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
It was the day after we had our podcast. Okay. So he got all upset, and he said the media's lying and that it's not true. And he goes, I saw 1 million or 1.5 million. Okay, this is a man that's never been to this place before, but he sees 1 million, 1.5 million. He's calling all the reporters. He says the media is my enemy. They're lying. They're putting up fake pictures. And then his press guy, what's his name? Sean Spicer, goes out and says to the press, this is terrible. The president's not happy. You're lying. So then it's a big, huge thing. But to me, it's so embarrassing. Like, why would you lie about that? So what?
And continues to talk about
and
it. Where it's like, stop it. Just get over it.
But
Get
not
over it.
only continues to talk about it, Now he wants an investigation. He didn't want an investigation that Russia might have had something to do with what happened. But he doesn't want that investigation. But he wants an investigation to prove that there was voter fraud. Why does he want this investigation that will cost taxpayers millions of dollars? Because he wants to prove, because people always say, well, he won the electoral vote, but the popular vote,
he's got an ego. He's very like.
It's insane.
But here's what I think:
Go
the
ahead.
only good thing that could come of this, is that if there actually is any kind of fraud on, like, voting, dead people's votes, and illegals voting, and made up names voting, I think it will wake people up for the future. There has to be a better system in place, because you can't have a system that's corrupt with such an important vote. You're not voting for, PTA mom who's going to be
Right.
you're voting for the president of the United States. So there should never, ever be a little leak.
But here's the thing.
That could be
Here's
that.
Here's what I've heard about, what I've read and heard about voter fraud, is that, of course, there is voter fraud. I'm not a voter fraud denier. There's voter fraud, but the amount of voter fraud is so minute.
But how do you know?
Because
there's a lot of dead people.
Because they did a study, and actually Obama is the one who did the study to find out about it. And they did the study, and it costs like millions of dollars for the study. And they found out, I forget what the numbers were, but they were so super low. They weren't a million. They weren't half. And what Trump is saying is that the 3.5 million people that voted the popular vote,
right,
the majority. So
it's his
3
ego.
million more people, voted for Hillary than him for the popular vote, and that's eaten him alive. And he will and then what he's going to do is he's going to get his own people to make the. It's not like an open bipartisan thing where we're all he's going to get his own people to do the investigation. And guess what it's going to say? Yeah. It's going to say, yes, it turns out that there are 3.5 million. I mean, because I don't trust this guy. I don't like that he's lying about the numbers.
But
see
there
the
shouldn't
photographs.
be any voter fraud.
Yeah, but there shouldn't be Putin.
Right, but it's not like this came out. If this had happened like right after the election, where it was like, I don't trust all this. We have to really investigate this. And also, let's investigate with the Russia situation, with every situation.
Right.
And when the Democrats wanted to do a recount, the Republicans came out and said, like, how could you do this? You're wasting our money to do this recount.
That's right, and nobody wanted
so
a recount.
I get it that time. But it's not happening because he really wants the recount. It's because of
he's
his
embarrassed
ego
because
and
he's
his numbers,
embarrassed,
and he can't admit any kind of failure.
He's
and
embarrassed
it's like,
that 1 million women marched and 250,000 came to see him. So he wants to prove that those numbers are wrong. That's what this is all about, and that's what's so embarrassing.
See, I can't understand when he finds the time between tanning sessions to come up with this shit.
And I think a lot of it is subversion.
Stupid. It's so dumb. Seriously, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
It is.
But I noticed that he's less orange.
Oh.
So I feel like somebody is talking to him.
Right.
And telling him to stop with the bronzer.
It's the White House.
Right. And it's because he's so orange, but then under the eyes are so white. It's so
He's
obvious.
so creepy
it's so
looking.
weird.
It's makeup. And also his hair is very yellow.
Yes.
And now I see it as more white. So they're calming him down a little bit.
It'd be the kind of, honestly, if he really wanted to go for a dignified look, he should stop dyeing the hair, let it be a little bit gray, look like a guy's about 70, and he'll get a little of the compassion vote. They'll go, this guy's got experience.
My friend Jacqueline says, leave it alone. Melania makes a much better first lady than Bill. Melania. She is fucking hot.
Okay,
can we just say that?
Does she have anything else going for her besides that?
She's not banging him, let's be honest.
No way.
No way. I will bet $1.
No way.
$1.
No, you know that there's an agreement in a piece of paper that says,
absolutely.
He says, you must weigh this amount of weight for the rest of your life. You must look hot. You must
That's
wear
fine.
these outfits.
This is probably the oldest woman he's ever dated.
Listen,
well, he has to stick with her now.
If he gets rid of them when they get to around the
She is so beautiful, and she's got a gorgeous body. She's probably never going to get fat. And she's got chefs, the best chefs cooking for her. I mean, if I had a chef in my house,
oh yeah, it'd be easy.
I mean, really.
Well, you know what they said? They interviewed her once, and how did this? They go, would you? They go, would you? Oh, this was the interview. This was years ago. Some reporter said, would you be with Donald Trump if he didn't have money? And this was her answer. She goes, would he be with me if I weren't beautiful? That was the answer.
Great
So
answer.
that was a good answer.
Great answer.
Because she doesn't answer.
So I would have said that. So you
That is
got
a
your
good
answer now.
That's right.
No, he wouldn't be with me if I had a mustache and I was fat.
That's right.
So no, I wouldn't be with that troll if he didn't have money.
And he was semi-decent looking when he was younger, but it's
Yeah,
not good
but
now.
listen,
He's not.
Sexy comes with personality too. Look, I'm not a Hillary fan. I don't know if I'm a Trump fan yet. I'm going to have to give him the benefit of the doubt for the next 4 years, and let's see what he can do. But what I do know is that our country is in bad shape.
But here's the thing. Oh, well, don't get me going on him because I think that he's going to make it worse and worse. First of all,
Well,
the
let's
whole
see.
reason we're doing everyone did the Women's March, he is trying to defund Planned Parenthood and overturn Roe v. Wade. He said, why would I give a man a chance who has said out loud, he has promised that he is going to get a Supreme Court judge who will overturn Roe v. Wade. So if a man says that he's going to overturn Roe v. Wade and he's going to get a Supreme Court judge to do that, why would I give him a chance to do that? So when you say give him a chance, I don't want to give him a chance to do that. That's wrong. That's not okay by me.
Okay, it's not okay
right.
by me either. I don't.
All right.
I don't.
I also have a problem with a lot of the stuff that he's with the Parks Department and stuff.
What's going on with the
You
Parks?
don't know what the Parks Department?
No,
which
tell
is
me
just
this,
like-
'cause I don't
so
know.
The Parks Department, they were tweeting stuff about climate change, and it's their scientists for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Park Department.
Yeah.
So he shut them down. He shut down their Twitter.
He took them off the
took them
website
off.
of. Okay, this is what he did with Obama. He had, there's the presidential website. He took off LGBT. He took off that with the environment, and he took off another thing. And I can't remember what it was. It was something with women or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, are you
Now
shitting
it's just
me?
him and Mike Pence, and it's like sign up for messages.
But here's what I don't understand:
It is.
why they don't believe that we have global warming. A lot of people are like, there is no such thing. That's my sister. No such thing as global warming.
No, let me tell you
So,
why.
but
Okay, go ahead.
the ice is melting. It's
Yeah.
fucking melting. Look.
Look outside. Wait, remember when I was a kid, we'd have snow that came up halfway up the door. We'd get snow days all the time. Look at our snow this year. It's like nothing. I mean, you have one or two, and then it melts the next day.
But next year we might have like that blizzard for like
Yeah.
a couple years ago we had
February
blizzard
could
after
still be.
blizzard after blizzard. I don't know if that is the cause, the problem. I do believe we're having a major issue with our environment between
It's fossil fuels and
everything.
pollution.
We're
and-
destroying our own planet,
Yeah.
and good for us.
You know-
We're going to get what we deserve.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
We're going to get what we deserve.
Here's the problem. Those politicians that don't believe in global warming, they know there's global warming. The reason they say they don't believe in it is because all these companies and ExxonMobil and all these
Right.
guys
They're
and,
paying
and
them off.
gasoline. We could have our whole country could have cars that run electric like all other countries do.
It's about the
because
dollar.
ExxonMobil, who's the guy that it's his
Yeah,
one in his
Snell.
cabinet. I forget the guy's name. But these are all the people that are in his cabinet, rich white guys who are saying there's no global
And
warming
they've
because
got
they
20
want money.
But they only have 20 years left to live. So, of course,
They don't
don't
care.
give
That's
a shit.
right. They don't care.
They have 20 years left to live. They don't care about the
Yep.
children or the children's children.
Right.
So they don't give a shit. They're like, who cares what happens after I'm gone?
Right.
And the amazing part was that, like, there's been so much stuff that's been passed that it's actually a good business plan. If you believe in global warming and you believe in everything that's happening, there's been so many things that have happened. Now I'm like forgetting all of it. I read like Obama's like Rolling Stone interview. He's talking about that there's been all these businesses that have been created
Because
the
of-
environmental
right.
agencies that
Right.
like it's a business plus
But
and
they're
it's
not-
we might save the environment plus. Like
Yeah.
it's a plus for everybody.
Well,
if everyone wants to
eventually-
get involved.
Eventually, it'll be we have to save it. So right now we don't have to, but eventually
Yeah.
we're going to come to a point where it's going to be like we do this or we die.
Day
Well,
after
that's what they're saying
tomorrow.
with the polar ice caps and all that. When that stuff melts, there's going to be flooding fucking everywhere.
Well, didn't you the movie Waterworld
I didn't see it.
with Mel Gibson?
no, I didn't
Wait,
see
no,
it.
no, wait, is that Mel Gibson or it's Kevin Costner? Isn't it Kevin Costner?
Was it Kevin?
Oh, Thunderdome. Yes, Kevin Costner, where they lived on the water. See, I would never like that because I would be nauseous, throwing up. I'd have to have my vertigo would be all fucked up.
I get seasick too. I don't like it.
God.
Woo! Okay, how about the other thing? What about the wall? Should we talk about the wall?
We don't have the money for it.
This
It's
is what happened.
ridiculous.
Today,
Who's paying for this?
Mexico. Exactly. He's building the wall. He says it's starting. He's building the wall. He goes, and then he's all in tweets, right? Mexico's paying for it. So Mexico tweets out, and I guess he's tweeting too, we're not paying for it. And
No,
Go
we're
ahead.
not fucking paying for it. Everyone,
Did he say
Oh,
fucking?
he said fucking. You saw that, Adam? He said fucking.
Wait, I did not
We're
notice
not
that.
fucking paying for that.
Yes.
So everyone is now, from being so like not cursing, everyone's saying the fuck word. They're dropping the F-bomb.
That's
and
because he brought
I
in
love
pussy.
it.
He brought in.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
He brought in pussy grabbing, and it changed the whole
true.
way we
It's true.
talk in
Nothing's off
politics.
limits.
If you can say pussy grabbing, you can say fuck you.
Yeah,
We're not
that's
paying.
right.
Now you know what they say.
No, but I don't think he said pussy grabbing while he was in the White House.
No, he said pussy grabbing before he was in the White House.
Right. See, look, if you're looking up to these people that are in the White House as role models, you're looking up to Bill Clinton
The
shoved
worst.
a cigar
I know. I
up
agree.
someone's snatch. That to me,
I agree. Look at Anthony Weiner having his with his okay.
Wiener.
But
the,
may I-
the name alone is offensive.
He didn't have a shot in life with that name. But do you notice? Obama, no scandals. 0 scandals. He loved his wife. He loved it. See, to me, that's class.
He loved his wife. She would have beat the shit out of him if
Oh
she
my
did.
God.
Stop it. I love
They're
her.
great. They were great as a team, and then
They
I
were-
love Biden because Biden would just jump. Biden could go off the wall at any moment.
I love
Any
Biden,
moment.
though.
Like,
I love Joe
it's
Biden.
hilarious.
I did like those guys. Did I agree with everything they did?
No,
But
no.
did I love them?
I
And
don't
with-
agree with anybody.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm with you in that sense. Then I'm like, all right, I don't. I don't trust anybody. I'm like, we're
I
all
don't believe
getting-
any of those
we're
people.
getting fucked
Those
anyway.
people, George Carlin said it best. I'm going to keep saying it. Watch his video of him going, it's a big club and you ain't in it.
Yeah,
You want to know something?
It's
Kevin
true.
puts that up on Facebook all day. He always does that thing about George Carlin talking about that, and we're all
We're
fucked.
all
What he said.
stupid.
I know.
And we're all like, oh, yeah, that
We're
guy.
fighting,
No, that
right,
guy.
right.
We're fighting.
Yeah.
But they've got the game.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
know the game. They don't give a shit about us. They're in a club. And if you think you're in that club, you're so mistaken,
Yeah.
Rich Walker.
Yeah.
So mistaken.
Well, George Carlin said he didn't vote. He said he doesn't vote. But see, I do believe in voting, and I do
Absolutely.
believe that you can make a difference with a vote. And
You can't.
You can.
For that minute.
You know what? It was such a close election this time. If everyone had voted, it would have been a different outcome. So I really believe in voting. Like George Carlin was like, doesn't matter what you do. But I understand that it's stacked against us bigly, as he would say. What's his name would say? But I feel like you can vote. I'm underneath it all. I'm very optimistic that the right thing will happen and people will do the right thing and that we can vote and that we can change it. That's really my belief.
Here's what I see. I see Russia wanting to join with China.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see like
It's
a lot
happening.
of anger building
Oh, yeah.
and building and climbing and building, and it's going to erupt
Yes.
like a giant zit.
Well,
Yes.
you know, Mexico
Yes.
was our allies,
it.
allies for years and years and years, always. Now there's a rift between these two. That guy's angry, the president. And also, when he met with Trump the first time, his ratings went down. So the Mexican people hate Donald Trump, of
But
course.
do you think they would have liked it if she got in? I don't think it makes a difference. I don't think it makes a difference. I don't think you're understanding.
Go ahead.
Obama, I don't really want to get into this, but
But go ahead.
you know, that whole Al-Qaeda thing and that ISIS and all that, all those terrorists, when you took out the safety of those people, you created that monster to let loose, and you want now to bring everybody in here. You're jeopardizing.
But you're saying that, of course, that it's Obama who started ISIS and everything else, because that's what all the Republicans say. But
I'm not a Republican.
But I'm
Don't
not saying
say
a Republican.
that.
I'm saying
I'm
that's
a
what
nobody.
No, listen. I'm saying that's what the Republicans say. I'm saying that when George Bush said that there were,
I never liked him.
I know I don't like him either. But I'm just saying,
fucking hated him.
I want to. To me, it's clear that ISIS started when he said there were weapons of mass destruction. There weren't. He killed their leader. That's when shit hit the fan.
whole thing.
So I don't think you can blame Obama.
I'm not
That's
blaming Obama.
Okay.
It's
It's
that
the
whole
70s.
system, that whole thing. It has nothing to do with
Government.
sides.
Government.
They work together.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. And we're all, yeah, we're fighting about alternative facts, this and that.
They're dividing
no matter what
us.
happens, they're very divisive of us, and that they're going to be fine. I was looking at that like when both parties were running, and I'm like, you know what? No matter what happens, both these people
Are
and
fine.
their families are fine,
And they will be.
and they will be.
And then if there is a
And
major war,
it's all of us.
they are fine.
They're always fine. If you're at the top, and that's not even politicians. If you're at the money and you're at the top, you're fine. Like I've worked parties for like the very ultra like liberal people with a lot of money, and they're sometimes the worst because they vote on all these things and they're like, we want everyone to live here, but not with us.
Right.
Not
God
us.
forbid.
Not my gated
Not in my
community,
gated community.
Right. You could have a Mexican, but they have to be cleaning something.
Right. Well, you know, that's why I think when you say the Mexicans, would they have disliked Hillary as much? She didn't call them rapists. I think that when you say inflammatory things, you are going to inflame people. Is that the right way? I mean,
Where do they come from?
who?
Hillary and Bill.
I don't know where they come from.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's like the most racist.
Well,
Well, no, they
Look-
moved there, right? They moved there because that's where he thought he can get.
No,
into
where
or
do they
he's
come from?
there.
Because
Is he from
they're
there?
real Southern Bible Belt people.
Right. Where is she from?
listen,
Where-
I'll tell you
Where?
this. I never
I
liked
don't
Bill
know where
Clinton.
they're from.
He was embarrassing. What he did with what he did to that girl. That girl was an intern, a young girl. I have young daughters. The guy's a piece of shit. I do
think
not like
about
Bill
that.
Clinton. And I'm a Democrat. I think he's bad. I think what he did with NAFTA was bad. Everything about that guy. So even though I'm a Democrat,
You should be a
I'm not-
no-crat.
I'm not. That's what Kevin's an independent. But I'm not. But the reason I'm always party line is because of women's rights. I feel so strongly about it. I have daughters, and I feel strongly about gay because I've got a gay ex-husband, and that's their father. I feel strongly about gay rights. I feel strongly about women's rights. I feel strongly about the environment. I feel strongly about these things. So
I do too. And I think the only way we're going to fix this is if somehow on this planet some creepy virus just eliminates all men and leaves my son.
Just
leaves
your
my son and gay men. No, just eliminates all men because if you think about where the problem starts, it's a man.
Well, you know what's funny? When they were interviewing the women at the march, they would go, "Why are you here?" They're like, "We believe in inclusiveness. We believe in, and it's all like positive, good things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the march was positive
So
and good,
positive.
but it's a bunch of women. This is what we want instead of like, well, not that there aren't women hawks and that kind of thing, but I'm just
But
saying.
you can't look. You
I'm
can't,
agreeing with you.
You want women's rights, right? You do. But you're saying it's okay for the women in the Middle East to be under a sheet like this because a man told them that they can't show their fucking face.
Who's saying it's okay? I'm saying it's okay.
No, I'm saying no. The
Wait, what did I say?
Hillary and the what is that? What,
Well,
to
I'm
me,
so sad.
you're saying it's okay by
Oh, you mean by
I
meeting with
can't.
them and
I
talking to them?
can't. I can't.
But the
I
problem
can't.
is also you do have to meet with leaders who are going to have culturally. Not that I agree with it. I mean, it always looks bad when who's the guy was it Bush who kissed the guy on the lips? Was from remember that the guy kissed him on the lips? I forget what country that was from. Like they have different. But sometimes you have to talk to people that you don't agree with.
I want
their
to
thing.
talk to the women that are wearing the burqa.
Yeah.
And I want to ask them, do you really want to be under that thing? Because I went to the Bethpage pool, and there was a woman dressed in the burqa, and I could understand if it's a religious thing, but I don't know if it's a religious thing. I think it's a man thing, invented it for the woman so nobody could see her. And it must have been 7,000 degrees.
I agree.
And she was sitting under this thing, and my kid goes to me, they were little, they were like 3 and 5, 3, 4 and 5, whatever it was. And they go, Mommy, why is that woman? I'm like, honey, I wanted to say,
Listen,
It's the Hasidic and Orthodox Jews with the women with the wigs.
you were
It's
wigs in
another
summer.
ridiculous
Hair,
thing.
it's like-
It's like a
Oh
brainwash
my
of the woman.
God.
But-
and they get to a certain age where they drop out of school. They just have
You know,
it's crazy.
I sat next to a woman on a plane who had the outfit on, and I don't know how we got talking. And she said, you know, she's saying, "Oh, I hope you're not afraid to sit next to me." Or she made something where she initiated the conversation. I said, "I'm just going to be honest with you." I go, "I don't get it. Like, why?" I feel bad for women that they, you know, she goes, "I'm a Muslim." And I go, "I feel bad for women. Why do you have to cover yourself?" I go, "It's not freedom. It's not." And she goes, "But don't you understand? I want to do this." I go, I don't.
No, she doesn't.
That's what she said. She
She's
was
brainwashed.
Here's what she said. Listen, she was an American girl. She was not Muslim. She was raised either Catholic or Jewish. I can't remember. She went to college. She met a Muslim guy, fell in love, started wearing the thing. She goes, "This is my choice. I feel it's respectful. I feel women need to be respected, and this is my way to be respected." I mean, of course, I disagree with everything she said, but I'm telling you, she said and believes that she is being respected by her husband by telling her to wear that. But I also...
So if it accidentally slips off her face and somebody sees her, they'll put a bullet in her head because we saw her face.
because she's not even a true Muslim in that. I mean, she was not born.
She
Muslim,
wasn't
right.
born.
So to that culture, she doesn't even exist. This
She
girl
doesn't
doesn't
exist.
exist. They're like, "Nice try, honey.
I know,
Nice
but
try."
That's true, though.
But-
If they wear lipstick or anything like that, you
I
can
don't
be
know.
shot or have acid thrown. But I don't
Oh,
know,
that
it's-
I mean, that's horrible. But I feel like this certain girl, it's that like that American. I made this choice. I made this choice to wear this.
That's
Like,
what
well,
she was
most
saying
girls
to
don't
me.
get that choice.
Yeah, that's
they don't have
she's
that
probably
choice.
a millennium.
yeah,
I decided I'm protecting my body.
Right.
And you're like, okay, they're probably divorced.
She's trying to make a statement.
yeah, maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe.
American.
I chose
Yeah.
this.
I just believe, I don't know, but you know, I mean, it's not
I
like
believe that this show was a lot funnier before we started this
Ah!
conversation.
well, they asked us for politics.
Yes.
Well,
Why,
maybe
Brandon?
Brandon
Stupid
fucked us.
ass, Brandon.
Okay. Well, do we want to close on something else? How long we been going?
They're from somebody said Hope, Arkansas.
Oh, Hope. That's interesting. How long we been doing?
There's no hope there.
98. Oh my God, we gotta get out of here.
We went over.
We went over, Adam. You gotta tell us.
Adam, we had such a good time with our friend
Just
here,
so you guys-
Megan.
Ladies, this is amazing.
Oh,
You're amazing.
I
I'm
loved
so
having you
glad
here.
you took 2 subways, a bus, and a train to get here.
You have
Just
to
2
come
subways.
back.
Just 2 subways. I would love to.
You'll
I
have
just
to-
gonna say I'm just gonna sit on the couch and watch.
You know what? You're gonna need to. You're gonna have to tell us if you got any offers
Oh right,
from being
For-
on the
for
show.
my
My
Facebook.
dates.
Yes.
My dating.
Yes.
Get on it, fellas.
Do you have anything to promote this weekend, next weekend, or the next weekend?
Oh my God! You know where I am working this weekend? Katz's Deli in Bayshore.
How is that? Where do
I'm
you
jealous.
stand?
I don't know. I've never been there before.
Can
I'm
I just
jealous.
tell you?
know.
Sometimes those gigs, well, they
Are
can be
the best.
horrible,
Yeah.
but sometimes they're the most fun.
Yeah.
You never know.
We're
You
getting a
don't.
pastrami sandwich.
Corned
You don't
beef.
know
Yeah.
until you get there. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Where's that
Yeah.
again?
It's at Ben's Deli in Bayshore.
Oh, that's
so.
funny.
You have to go check her out because she's very funny.
Oh, very kind.
Not only that, Ben's Deli in Bayshore is delicious.
Delicious.
You've been there,
Delicious.
Carrie, or are you just saying
No.
that? Carrie goes. Carrie kills me.
My shoulder.
You're gonna need gabapentin. All right, and where are you?
I'm at my friend's son's engagement party this
Really?
Saturday
Are you
night.
performing at it?
No.
Oh, thank
I'm
God.
going as a guest.
Nice.
I'm relaxing. I don't have any work this weekend because I don't like to work every weekend.
Well, you work like a dog in
I
a
need
restaurant.
a break.
Of course.
Gotta
And you have
drive.
children, and you.
When I drove to the Stress Factory, what was it, 2 weekends
that's
ago?
terrible.
I was coming back from this Saturday night. My eyes were like this. I was trying to.
That's
Trying
horrible.
to stay up. I'm like, psh, psh. I couldn't smacking myself. And, I had my friend FaceTime me, so I was talking to her, and they keep trying to keep me up so I wouldn't crash.
Oh yeah, and get
There's
open
no
the windows.
parking. There's no parking around there, in New Brunswick. You're like, I was driving around. I moved my
There's
car.
a
in the
parking
middle of
garage.
the
There's a
right
parking
next
garage
door.
But
next
it
to the
was
comedy
full
club.
when I was there. It was
Oh,
full.
and then
So I
there's
was driving around.
You
I
got to
was on
go.
several
You got to
car
go down
accidents.
to the. There's another parking garage, but you got to go out and then go down, and there's another
I'm
one.
going to call
Just-
you Patty from now on.
All right, I'm saying where I'm going to be. Okay,
yes.
so I'm not anywhere this weekend, which that's okay by me. And wait, what the fuck? Okay, comic strip February 3rd and 4th, 2 shows both nights, and
Oh, well,
I want to.
If I was able to do March, April, and May.
Well, this is February. It's just 2 weeks away. But may I just say, in case someone doesn't listen next week, I am going to be at the brokerage. I'm going to be back in Long Island for the first time in years. Nice. 10 and 11 at the brokerage. If you're living in Long Island,
brokerage is a great
get your
club.
tickets. Get your tickets.
The acoustics, when you get a laugh, it rumbles.
Yeah,
That's a great club.
I should get my tape done.
You definitely have to go see Patty. I am telling you, you will not be at all disappointed.
Thank you, Carrie. Tell the audience about. We might be going Chick Chat Facebook instead of will they flip over?
No, we're going to Chick Chat on iTunes, right? Adam,
are we?
We are so dumb.
Let's do it off the air. Never mind.
Yeah, we're so dumb. Just watch my Facebook till we figure it out.
But we might have a Facebook Chick Chat. No.
Yes.
Oh yes, we will have
Facebook.
Okay.
That's
I'm
what you're
sorry. I didn't know what I was talking about. Yes, we're going to do a Chick Chat Facebook.
That way, when you go to the instead of typing in Carrie Carabas, but now we may lose everybody. We'll see next week. If we lose everybody, then we'll go back to Carrie Carabas Facebook. But it's easier to find because you just type in Chick Chat, right? Will that be easier?
Yes.
All right. Thanks. And Adam, anything? It's the Rec Room. Anything you're promoting? RecRoomNY.com. Fabulous.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you, darling. It was a pleasure.
And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you, God.